Hi, this is Kim Bennett, and this is a brief summary of the Kemp Instructional Design Model. Gerald Kemp. Before we discuss the Kemp method, I'd like to spend a little time getting you a bit more acquainted with the primary contributor of the Kemp method, which is Gerald Kemp. He was born in 1921, served in World War II, came home and obtained his first degree in chemistry. He went on to get further degrees and teach at the college level, but his first job was actually teaching junior high science. He used his passion for audio and visual techniques to capture the interest of his students and capture the interest of his peers, and this began his career in impacting the instructional design process. The Kemp Instructional Design Method was originally created in 1985, and then it was modified a few years later in 1994. It has been used historically in the school system, whether K through 12 and the university level, and it has also been used in the business sector to accomplish various goals. According to Kemp, there are 9 key steps, elements, or sometimes they're referred to as phases, and they're all listed here. The one thing that makes his model unique and different is that you do not start at the top and work your way down. It's not a linear process. These 9 steps are actually not interrelated directly with each other. So you could actually begin from any of the steps. So his historical model looks a little bit more like this. It is the same exact terms, except it's laid out much differently, and it gives it this cycle approach instead of a process where you go from the start to the finish. Instructional problems. We normally refer to this as identifying a problem or a goal, and more so in education, we try to focus on the goals. So we often refer to these as the learning outcomes. Learner characteristics. This is the basic understanding of your learner. Includes age, learning style, and prior knowledge. Task analysis. What are the topics and the procedures that should be used to help the student meet his or her goals? Instructional objectives element. This is the portion where measurable and specific learning objectives are established that are directly aligned to assisting the learner to achieve the overall goals. Content sequencing element. Basically, this is the order of the content, and what that means is what skills are needed to accomplish the next task or goal. Many of our skills build upon each other, so this is where we decide what needs to be taught first and second and third to overall accomplish our goals. The element of instructional strategies. In the field of education, we look for what is the best way to deliver or present this material that will help the students accomplish the goal or understand the concept. We usually want instructional strategies that are reliable and research-based. Designing the message. Basically, this is the design of the material. So this includes designing each graphic, chart, picture, flow chart in a meaningful way that will help maximize the understanding. Development of instruction. This is basically the compiling of the resources, all the handouts, websites, videos, labs, and etc. that will be used. Evaluation instruments. This is where you establish and determine what assessments can be used to see if the learner has met the goal. This includes informal and formal assessments. A unique thing about the Kemp model is these 9 elements can be completed in any order, or at the same time, or not at all. The Kemp model is all about flexibility. These outer rings are ongoing items that should be performed or considered throughout. These include evaluations, planning, revisions, support services. For an example, in a school environment, these support services could include personnel. For example, incorporating perhaps a gifted teacher or a special education teacher into the mix. The Kemp model in action. Caliscan had his student teachers participate in some studies involving instructional design methods in the classroom. They had a few comments about this particular method. They thought the Kemp method was flexible, they liked how you could easily change things, and they appreciated the circular design of it and being able to begin and end at any point throughout the process. The Kemp design model was used for the implementation of e-books in high school. Both students and professors contributed to the study. The Kemp model provided a guide to completing the design process. It was noted that this model is especially beneficial because it is so learner-focused and can be combined easily with the use of technology. The goal of the study is to help educators make reflections about the design of the learning process, including technology to obtain the ultimate learning outcomes. Students reported that they were aware that there were steps taken to help the class be more structured and run smoothly. This is an example of possible use of the Kemp method in a 7th grade science classroom. The flexibility of this design enables designers to begin at any point. There are intentionally no arrows leading from one task to the next. In addition, there are actually 9 tasks in this design model, but the structure of it enables the designers to use as few or as many to meet the needs of the learners. And these also could be added and taken away later. Here at the center are the tasks and the items that are continually reviewed and reevaluated throughout the design process.